Black, Poetic G. Beautiful love, always.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm King George. I'm the owner of T.Y.I Productions. I'm the curator of Black 31 magazine. Today I'm here. I am here with another special guest. This lady right here is definitely involved deep in the community. And when you speak on mental health, she is one of the premier mental health advocates who is really delivering the message. Many different projects she have, the Unspoken project, and we're gonna speak on a lot of the projects that she's working on. So
We got the
absolutely,
projects.
yes, absolutely. So without further ado, can we please give it up for Miss Pamela Coleman? Let's go. Yeah. So again, how you feeling?
I'm okay.
Yes. Let the people know who is Miss Pamela Coleman, and why did you decide to dive into mental health?
Ooh, I think the last part of that question is easier. Because sometimes I don't know who I am. So we just gonna be that right there. The easiest part, mother of two, grandmother of one, all boys, work in the school system with children whose English is their second language. So that's fun. Mental health. Ooh. I never saw this coming. I was supposed to be probably 2 years ago living in Jamaica now. That was the plan, to be a Jamaican resident.
Wow.
Yeah, all that changed. So I started writing. I wrote a letter to my mom when she died because I was struggling with our relationship that we had when I was growing up. So I was writing, and then I ended up writing a book, took those notes and turned it into a book, and I realized I was a survivor of mental abuse.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So I Googled it because, we always Google everything. So I
Yeah.
Googled it to see what mental health was, what mental abuse was. What the first thing that popped up was 63% of African American males don't seek help. And I just took off from that point.
Wow. Wow.
So that's how we got here.
Mm, that's heavy. Now. What have you noticed? Besides you doing the research on the statistics, what have you noticed about men yourself when it comes to mental health, and why are we so reluctant to accept that that mental health or that mental coaching?
Um, I'm on this whole stigma of the African American thing. Black men don't receive the help. It was the way they were raised. They're not supposed to show weakness. They're not supposed to cry. It's the stigma that we had when we were growing up. Even for the females, it's hard. For our men to reach out and ask for help, it's harder. I mean, it's not easy because they feel like it's being weak, so they don't ask for the help. Even when they ask for the help, this is our biggest problem. They want someone that looks like them sitting on the other side. We have 1% of the therapists that are Black.
Yes.
Half of that are male, or less than half are male, Black male therapists.
Yes.
They're not really comfortable. Our men aren't really comfortable talking to females. I don't know how I broke that ice, but I'm good with that. I'll take it. But it's a struggle for them to find people who look like them and men who look like them that they're comfortable sitting there talking to.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I really want to say thank you, because you don't realize how much you have helped me in my journey, and I wouldn't say I'm fully healed from my journey, from my childhood trauma, but I've been working on it. And honestly, with the question that you sent over to me, it actually got me to open up about mental health.
Right.
Because I'll be honest with you, I was silent my whole life, just like just keep pushing, keep going,
Mm-hmm.
and it weighs on you mentally after a while. So, thank you, most importantly. And why do you feel as though when it comes to like men specifically, right? I know you answered that. We don't go to seek help,
Hmm.
but uh, what are what are some of the challenges of working with men?
Uh, Trust. They have to, for me, when I work with the men, they have to trust that, like when you sent me your information,
Yes,
even though it was going in a book, I wasn't going to sit next to Sally and give Sally all your information,
yes,
so they have to trust you. So like if you call and say, hey, look, I need to sit down and talk about something,
yes,
you need to know that what we talk about stays right there. So
yes,
they got to find that person that they can trust and know that everything that they're saying to them isn't going somewhere.
yeah,
So that's once you get past that level, for me it's easy to talk to somebody, because then they know I'm not going to tell what you and I talked about to the next person.
yes, 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 absolutely. Now, can you tell the people what is the Unspoken project? What is that about?
The first one or the second one?
Both.
Ooh. So the first one, Unspoken, It's Okay Not to Be Okay,
Yes,
was a pilot, air quote, because I was doing in-person seminars, and it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to,
yes,
or what I was expecting. I was expecting more people in the seats, but I got more people through live than I did in the seats. And I was scared to do that again. So I was like, how can I do it where the men are comfortable talking, but not talking in front of people? And that's how that came to. And I didn't turn anybody away. We had 26 men to
wow,
participate. And this go around, we're still not turning people away. People are asking, is it too
yes,
late to do it? And I'm like, nope, I can keep pushing the book back. I can keep pushing it back.
yes,
And one of our previous, as I like to say, the original Unspoken,
yes.
he's designing a cover for this book.
Oh wow, I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. I like that. The first Unspoken. I believe I was a part of the first
Yep.
one. Yeah.
And there's room for you to be in the second one.
Yes, yes. I do want to be in the second one.
I was
Absolutely.
like,
I
there's
want
room. This one is unspoken. It's okay not to be okay. Real talk. So it's like the men are sitting at a table. The way the stories are, you give me the story, and it's like you're sitting there talking to other guys. The way we're gonna have it formatted.
Oh wow, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. I read a lot of answers from the brothers from the first book,
Hmm.
and just by sharing it in the magazine, because I know you shared a lot of it with me, and I put it in the magazine
Right.
just because we have the mental health section.
Hmm.
It was wonderful to get to receive the feedback from brothers who was actually experiencing some of the same things that I was
Hmm.
experiencing. They just wasn't saying it right away. They would just gradually, it's helping them gradually become more trusting to you and your product. So listen, we thank you. I thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I
Absolutely,
put
absolutely.
all my own personal writing, because I was
Yes,
supposed to be halfway through a 6-book series. All that
yes.
got put to the side so that I could focus on this. So at some point, whenever it's supposed to happen, it will happen. I got the ladies. It wasn't supposed to be just ladies, but all ladies jumped in on the forgiveness.
Okay.
One is to forgive or not to forgive. And I have a few people that suffered something serious, like the death of their son,
Yes.
and she's unable to forgive her son's killer. So she wants to speak on that. And then there's some that can and have, and I'm on both sides. I have some where I can, and I'm still processing, trying to forgive my mother, and I hadn't gotten there yet.
Yes. Listen, I truly understand. I truly understand. Listen, we have a lot in common, believe it or not. Believe it or
Oh
not, we have a lot in common. Um, when it comes to like community value, right? Um, what do you feel right now? Why are we having so much of a disconnect between black man and black woman?
yeah. Ooh, that's a good question. I think might have shared this with you, I'm not sure. But when I first started this Unspoken book and the actual mental health journey,
Yes.
I was getting very nasty messages from the women in my on my social media platforms
Yes.
in different forms. And then I got to the point when they kept saying, well, why are you helping the men? Why don't you? Women go ask for help. If something's hurting on me, I'm calling a doctor. We go ask for help. If we don't do nothing but go ask a girlfriend or something, we vent. So then I started getting mad when they were coming in going, well, why are you doing this and why are you doing that? And that's my response has been, now, why aren't you? So stop asking me why I'm helping the men. Why don't you join the group and help them too? Because the more we get out there to help, the better, the more chances we have of you guys healing.
Yes. Yes.
So it's, I don't know. I become, as you know, rather passionate about it. So I'm getting a little, when the messages come in, I get a little testy now and I'm like, "Arr!" Become a keyboard bully, but that's okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, I feel like they always try to when goodness is when you want to put goodness in the world and especially uplifting men in a certain way, I feel like that's why a lot of men don't speak because there's always backlash from women.
Mm-hmm.
And not all women,
No,
but it
not
just
all of them.
it,
No.
it, it just backlash from a lot of black women that they may see that that we may look at them and be like, hey, you should be on my side. So if you got your sister and your mother going at it with you, like, who on my side then?
Mm-hmm.
So
And then
uh
also there's that percentage of the sisters that, not all of them, but there's that percentage of the sisters that want to just walk into a situation and everything is fine. Sometimes you got those that don't mind putting in the work. They don't mind getting sweaty. They don't mind pushing and supporting. You got ones that will support, but how much support do you want to give? Maybe the person that they're dealing with is not too damaged, but too damaged for them to support. So it's just depending on each individual sister on
yes,
how much they want to handle. So it's not, placing blame one way or the other. It's just how much can they handle when it comes to supporting the brothers. Then on the flip side, it's how much will the brothers trust the females to give them that information. If you're in a relationship, which is supposed to be, but that's TV, you should be able to come home and say, this is what's bothering me. But if you think that might set her off, or you're not going to get the support that you're looking for, or whatever the case may be, they won't say anything. So it's still back to that trust. Even if you're married for 20 some years, you still might not be comfortable enough to say, this is what's wrong, this is what's bothering me, this is what I need help with, without wondering, well, what is she going to say? Is she going to, if I want to sit here and cry for 10 minutes just because I had a bad day, is
yeah,
she going to say I'm weak and leave me? It's just, what is their thought process?
abs-
So it's 50-50 on both sides.
yes, 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 absolutely. And do you feel as though new technology and these devices do these devices keep us distracted from checking on our mates and checking on our folks that need the mental health?
So sometimes I think I fell into that because I will call you in a heartbeat, FaceTime you, whatever. And I too have gotten away from it because if I send you a message and I can see that you read it, but you don't have time or something like that. Sometimes people don't know how to receive that.
Yeah.
If they don't know how to receive it. So, do I feel like you don't want to talk to me, or I reached out, I want to help you, but you put and tone and inflection in a text message is the biggest thing, because you might have meant for it to say, hey, I can't talk right now because I'm dealing with something,
Yes.
or something, and then I may read it as, I ain't got time for you, I don't want to talk to you, and that's not what you're saying. And then
Yes.
the whole emoji thing that's it come into play now, where you know if you put an emoji under something, you're automatically, trying to date that person, or
True.
I'm almost to the point now where I don't even want to use them because you.
That's the truth.
So yeah, technology is messing up a whole lot of stuff. Just a
Yes,
whole lot of stuff.
absolutely. And uh, considering that you are a Virginia native, right?
Oh yeah.
I got an aunt that lives in Virginia right now. That's my favorite aunt too.
I was gonna say, what part?
uh, she lives in Fredericksburg.
Oh, she's only like an hour away from me.
Oh, that's not bad.
I drive
That's not bad.
past Fredericksburg every time I go to DC. So yeah, she's right up the road,
I hear,
as we like to say, up the road.
yeah, I hear that. I hear that. Um, how much advocacy have you been doing in Virginia, and how much has the people of Virginia responded to you being a mental health advocate?
It's slow because just like reaching out, doing the project itself, and having the men trust me with their stories, the
Yes,
community has to see that you're not just playing around with it. So
yes,
I got my first podcast interview with one of our magazine people here. So it's they need to see your work too. So it's just like anybody. Once they start seeing it, but
yes,
my support is like with you in Philly, Florida, Daytona, in Richmond. I mean, I'm still in Virginia, but not local.
yes.
It's outside.
Okay.
So North Carolina, it's in different states,
Hmm.
but it's a slow process. It'll get here
Yes,
eventually.
yes, absolutely. Why is gun violence so detrimental, and why is gun violence so detrimental in these times that we living in now? And what is at least one or two solutions that we can at least give to the younger youth that's experiencing all the gun violence that's happening in our inner cities?
So for us, it's more so the drugs that
Okay.
we're dealing with here.
Yes.
We don't have as much of the guns as the drugs, and that taken. I mean, it's in the school system, and we're
Yes.
fighting tooth and nail to get that out. They had a vape day where you could turn in your vapes, no question asked, kind of like the guns. You
Hmm.
turn in your vapes and you get something back. So that went well. The kids, turned in all their weed vapes and stuff like that. But it's for me, my opinion would be to have more adults and activities and things in the communities that the kids could get involved in.
Yes.
We don't have, and I'm trying to think if we even have like an actual community center. Like when I was
Wow.
growing up, we had one where you could go and they had the pool tables and where it was open not 24 hours, but at least until 11 o'clock.
Yes.
We do have people pushing sports. The more kids I see in sports, the less, it cuts down. So finding what the kids like to do, I found by accident, there's 4 kids in my school that want to write.
Oh
So
wow.
I'm like, okay, tell me what you need. Tell me, just tell me. We got kids that want to create illustrations for books. So I was putting the illustrators with the kids that want to write, and was putting them together. So finding what they want to do and creating that space for them to go to,
Yes.
and also to remind them that they don't need the gun to solve the problem. So
Yes.
if they could solve it with some knuckles, if they have to, or just find an alternative way to solve it. But we got to get in there. And some people aren't comfortable with it. Some people don't feel safe. They don't feel safe enough to go into the communities and say, hey, I'm here to help. They're just not. It's a safety thing for the older people who want to help but scared to go in.
Yes.
So I don't know
Yes.
exactly where you tackle that. Do you go with tackle the fear and show them that it's okay to go into the inner city,
Yes.
so that they can help? Or do you bring some of the inner city out to where the adults are that are, air quote, not comfortable, and then just kind of slowly get them into the inner city?
Absolutely. It have to be a common ground, common area to meet.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Because it's so crazy that you're saying that, because I feel like in these times now, as most of us adults, we shouldn't be afraid of the youth, but I understand.
Mhm.
I understand, but also on the other end, because I was once a case manager, and I couldn't be scared of these young boys that I was
Mhm.
seeing. And plus, I grew up in the hood anyway, so I was never used to being scared of anything. But it's just like seeing them and seeing their faces and seeing most of these kids is like you start to begin to think like they all going through things that we once went through,
Mhm.
and they just really traumatized inside. They just really need somebody to hear them out, and most of the
Yes.
time that's all they really wanted. Like I was just like, yo, come on, sit down with me, and all they wanted was for me to just hear them,
Right.
and then I gave them my feedback back.
That was what I was, when you said that, I thought about when I first got into the school system and I was working with behavioral students. And the teacher would call on the walk-ins to come get them out. But once you got the child out the classroom and said, "Hey, what's going on?" Well, either she or he was teaching too fast, but wasn't comfortable enough to raise their hand, so they just start showing off,
Yes.
or just small stuff. Just find out, or the kid had a bad day at home, take them outside for me. Just what is the problem? And like you said, you can't be scared. We had a we had a fight in school, and it's automatic that you jump in to try
Yes.
to to break that up. And I've been told so many times, you shouldn't do that. Okay, so what am I supposed to do? Step back, watch them beat the brakes off of each other. That's not your nature. Your nature is to say, hey, don't know why y'all fighting. Let's I'll stand between two football players, the big old 200-pound football players in a heartbeat, and dare one of them to hit me.
Yes.
And they're like,
Absolutely.
"Oh, Miss Coleman, oh, we good." Yeah, hit me.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
you can't, like you said, you can't be scared, but you can't tell others not to be scared.
Absolutely.
I've gotten my front tooth fixed multiple times where it's been broken in half. Got hit in the neck with a chair, and it is what it is.
Yeah. 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 But when it's time to step in for the community, I understand. Because it becomes a point where we have to step in.
Mm-hmm.
And if we want to, see these young kids grow, young boys, young girls, because a lot of them look like us. A lot of them are black children, and when I sit back and I see, we just sit there and watch. It's just like, no, we can't let these kids kill each other,
No.
because where they learning it from? They learning it from TV music, and at home,
Mm-hmm.
and then at home. Then the dysfunctional families of how people feel about somebody because they not with them no more. That shouldn't matter, So
Yeah.
and
So they need processing too. They need some tools on how to process. But what kind of tools do you get them? That's a little research. What do you get for the kids?
yes, yes. Now when I worked with some young boys as a case manager for a company, I noticed some things, but the main thing is I noticed that a lot of these boys didn't want to get put on the spot. So
Mm-hmm.
So what I would do, I would have one-on-one conversations with them. They would talk to me more than the therapist. So I would sit down. I would have one, and I actually want to be a therapist. I want to go back to school and be a therapist. I would sit back. I noticed that I pulled them away from the group,
Mm-hmm.
sit down, and I'd be like, you know what? Throw everything at me. I would sit down how they was feeling, however they was feeling that day. I would like just throw it at me. I'm gonna sit here and listen. Throw everything at me. They would throw everything at me, how they was feeling, everything, and then at the end, I'd be like, you know what? Now is my time to project. And after them conversations, they'll sit back like, damn, Mr. George, I needed that so much. I needed that so much. And I realized, why isn't people listening to you? If this is a child, and we have parents. Why is nobody just listening to how this child is feeling? That's the main thing, and I believe that's where the start is at.
Yeah, because if they, just like the men, if they find someone that they can trust and vent to, then they're not good, but at least they can talk to somebody. And like you said, I have a young man who's non-African American, said that I was one of the three teachers that he trusts, and he's
Yeah,
not, like I said, not on my caseload, but I don't care.
yeah,
He said he can talk to me. He wants to graduate. This is what he wants to do.
yes,
I'm one of three. So how do you push? You don't push a child. Not how do you push him? You don't push a child away if he's on your caseload or not.
yeah,
He can come talk to you. I got all the time in the world. My kids, if I told them if they have an emergency, because there was one young man, loved to death, he's getting ready to graduate, said
yeah.
he's 2 years clean.
Mm,
He was having a setback because he ran into something going on at the school, and he
yes,
said, I need to talk. And I said, whatever time you want to talk is fine, because you worked so hard to get to a 2 year mark that you can say that you haven't smoked anything, taken anything, drank anything. You're
yeah,
graduating. So let me call me, wake me up.
yes,
I don't, he worked through it with one of our male mental health people that we have in the building. We have a
okay.
male and two females. So if we see the kids spiraling out, we'll call them or send them over. But they're in the building.
Mm,
They are not counselors, but they're actual mental health people in the building
okay.
for the kids.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And tell us this: how much do you love being a teacher?
I walked out of working at State Farm. I walked off the job, no job to go to, and my youngest son's basketball coach, he's like, "You always in here? Why don't you substitute teach?" Okay, and it just went into that. Um, it's so stressful. It is a very stressful job that I wouldn't change. Because when you see the end result, I got a text message from one of the students Thanksgiving telling me how thankful she was. I was in tears because it was a bad day.
Yeah,
Kids don't listen. You have ones that want to work, some that's here, some just taking up seats, and you're trying to reach them. Um, it, but when you get that one little thank you, or that hug in the hallway, it's it makes you go back the next day. So,
yes,
yeah, do I like the job? It's stressful. I'm not going to lie and say working in the school system is just oh, we go in, we got the summers off. I got 15 days off right now. No, because I'm sitting here already going, okay, we go back on the 7th. What do I need to do? Who was missing work? And that's what I was doing today, going, all right, somebody was missing something that needs to be turned in. So you're always thinking, what do they need?
yes.
And we got 21 students across the stage in our department, and I forgot. I think 16 of them were Latino students,
Okay.
first time graduating in their family.
Oh wow.
The other four were from Afghanistan.
Okay.
So, and all of them were first. And the thing that I try to get some of our young men and women to realize is that you guys got it easy. The two of the kids that graduated, I think, told me that their family came in in the luggage compartment of an airplane
Wow.
to get here,
Yeah.
which was about 10 or 15 years ago. But just to get here and to be the
Yes.
first to graduate in your family.
Absolutely.
So, and some of those kids are head of household. They're working they're going to school full time. They're working full time. One student we have, he gets off from work at 6:30, and instead of going home so he doesn't oversleep, he comes from his job, which he gets to the school at 7 o'clock, and he stays in his car until school starts. and he has 2 hours between there before he goes to work again. So he gets about 3 hours of sleep on a good,
Oh wow.
because he's providing for the family.
Wow. He grinding. Grinding.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But he wants that. He wants that paper.
Yeah.
They want the paper to say, "I graduated."
Yes.
Yeah. One of our students just danced across the stage. He stopped in the middle. He had his Honduras flag, and he held it up with his diploma, and then he went on down the steps.
Yes. 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 That's amazing, sister. That's amazing. Now, just to touch bases on the side of some of our children, right? Because I love that you were speaking
Mm-hmm.
about, you know, other children who came from other countries. Now, how grateful, how grateful should our kids that's already here? How grateful should they should they be in these times? And and just like you were saying, like we have it a bit easier. And what does it take for them to see that?
They have to actually see it. And it's not that they're ungrateful, it's just that they don't realize that it's easier for them
Yes.
versus other students that are not like them.
Yes.
We got some that's coming in from Africa next school session. So it's not that they're ungrateful,
Yes.
or it's just that they don't see that it's easier for them.
Okay.
And when I see some of our kids, both black and white, cutting up in the hallway, I'm not going to class, da 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 da. I just pull them over to the side, and I'm not fussing at them. I'm just going, hey, remember there's students in here that would, even like our own selves. There's somebody that wants my problems. When
Yeah.
I get into that mode, I go, somebody wants my problems. So I just stop and say, hey, go to class. This is what you're gonna get. It's easier for you right now just to sit there, listen,
Yes.
get your work done, and come on out. I said, that's all you got to do. Once you finish your work, chill, play some games on your computer, just do the work. So it's just that gentle reminder that, dude, all you got to do is walk in, say, I'm here.
Yes.
If you're struggling with something, ask somebody, find me in the hallway, because I'm always in the hallway for whatever reason. But anyway, just
Yes.
ask for help, because that piece of paper is important. You don't have to go to
Absolutely.
college. You don't have to go. I am not a college person pusher,
Yes.
because both of my kids attempted to go and said that wasn't for them
Okay.
and didn't want to waste the money.
Okay.
Both of them are doing fine. So I always tell the kids, I hear them say, go to college, go to college, go to college. But if that's not the fit for you, find a fit for you that you're happy. Because if you're not happy, you're not going to want to do it. And I can't tell you how many little part-time jobs I done walked out of because it disturbed my peace. If you disturb
Yep.
my peace, it's like, I got to go.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
the kids, 90% of the kids receive it. Sometimes they just need that gentle reminder going, hey, you can do this. You do that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So it's not, I've not met one that's, like you said, not, ungrateful about it, or they just don't see it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they don't see it until an example is, presented in front of them,
Yes.
which would be one of my students. One young man I was working with, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. This is, kids work. And then he sees another student sitting next to me with their phone hovering over the work,
Yes.
translating it in Pashto because they can't read the work.
Oh wow.
So they have to use, and that's the thing we got to fight with next week when we go back, because they
Yes.
took the phones from the students. So they can't
Oh.
have them in the classroom. But my kids have to use them to translate, because we don't translate the work into Pashto and Dari for our Afghanistan students.
Yeah.
So they take a picture of it and translate it so they can do the work.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, they just need to see it, that they can walk in and go, okay, and yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we've been speaking on so much mental health, that we brought out another life coach. So shout out to life coach Will. He on the line
Hey,
too. Shout out to the brother. This brother is also involved in mental health advocacy too. So I'm so glad he's on the line. This is a great way to connect. Um, uh, also, right. I have to know this. And let the people know, what do you love most about yourself?
why you asking a question that difficult? It should be easy, right? Um, wow. Wow. I don't know. I don't know.
No.
Right now, I think the biggest thing for me is that this wasn't a path I thought I was supposed to be walking, and that I found out that I'm helping more people than I realized.
Yes.
And I didn't even see it.
Yes.
I mean, when I hear from you and other people, that got the book, I I didn't see it coming.
Yes.
I didn't see it coming. I didn't know. I thought we were going to do the book. The book was going to be on Amazon, and I move on. No, that didn't happen. Now we got two coming out. So
Yes. 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 Absolutely. And but I'm gonna be transparent with you. What I love about you, sister, is that you really helped me open up to wanting to reveal more things about the mental things that I've been going through, about
mhm.
getting my mental more healthy. So again, the Unspoken project will not go unspoken as long as Black 31 around. As long as we're around, it's not going unspoken. So thank you.
Oh, you're
Absolutely.
welcome. No worries. Like I said, I wasn't expecting this. I was supposed to be in Cancun, not Cancun, Jamaica, living until my expiration date. And I ain't there yet. I ain't there yet.
Yes.
Ain't there yet.
Yes. Now, are you from Jamaica?
No. So a friend of mine's, I went one time, like, the cruise stopped. I loved it. Then a friend of mine, she celebrated her birthday there, and she took all of us as a treat.
Oh wow.
And then after that, I had been going every year until COVID, to the point where the people at the resort that I stayed in knew my name. They was like, "Hey, ma'am, how you doing?" I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And then COVID came and messed up everything. I ain't been back since.
Ah, I know.
I'm
So you
going
got
back
to get
though.
back. You got to get
I
back.
found a loophole though. You can stay in Jamaica for 30 days for $2,800, not including your airfare. Yeah, exactly, not including your airfare. But the people that own like the condos and the resorts, they
Yeah,
rent them out, so you can get them for $2,800 and pay an additional $300, get a food voucher, and go down and eat in the hotel and never leave.
that's heavy. That's heavy. That's heavy. That sounds like a good trip. That sounds like an excellent trip.
30
And you,
days.
yes, yes. And you know what? Being involved in the mental health field, you need that type of break. You need that type of break because you're dealing with so many different personalities and you're helping them so much, and then sometimes you just get exhausted mentally, and you just gotta be, my break, my relief in Jamaica.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I would sit out on the balcony and freaking write.
Oh
I
wow,
would write. I could see that. Because that's the only place I can actually get it done is when I lock myself into a hotel room and just go.
yes, yes,
So
absolutely.
yeah, that's my thing. Could you imagine the number of books I could drop in 30 days?
That'd be
I
heavy. That'd be
got
heavy.
five. I got five sitting over there in my notebook ready to go. I just have to take them from the notebook and put them into the format and send it off to my publisher.
Yes.
So if I had that 30 days, I could drop all five of them in one. Boop.
Yeah. Yeah. It's time. But yeah, absolutely. Because I want to read a book from Pam. I do. I want to read a book from Miss Pam. I definitely do.
They come in. They come in the series. The part of the series is already on. What is it? Amazon. So it's out there.
Okay, okay, I respect it so much. That's what I'm talking about. So many jewels, man. This is a real mental health advocate right here, y'all. Y'all got to give it up for Miss Pam. That's what I'm talking about. Um, um, last but not least, right? Um, and this question is specifically for the young sisters, right? What advice do you have for young sisters? Uh, First and foremost, in being grounded as being a woman first. What advice do you have for them to be successful in whatever they're doing, and also just being rooted in believing in God?
For working in a high school, seeing what I see, I first need to have them understand that they are worth a lot more than the pieces of clothing that they wear. I have stopped several beautiful young ladies going, they will see you even if you're covered up. That's the biggest thing for me, is to get them to understand that they don't have to show it for people to see them. They could be in a turtleneck from here all the way down to the floor, and their worth will come through the turtleneck.
Yes.
I walked through behind one young lady and I said, come with me. She said, what's up, Miss Coleman? I said, I need more material on that skirt, so let's go get some jogging pants or something. But I think once they get, like you said, the music, the
Yes.
you know, when they see that they are beautiful without showing everybody the additional assets,
Yes.
they'll be fine. But, and I'm speaking on my own self, if you don't know it and you don't see it, which I still struggle with that all the time. People will tell me, "Oh, you look good," and I don't see it. So that's a struggle I still deal with, because my mom used to tell me that I was basically an ugly child and I never meet anybody, yada yada yada. So I still struggle with that on a regular basis. I'm learning to say thank you, which is hard. When people, give you the compliment, "Oh, you look good today," instead of me saying, "No, I don't," like I used to, I go, "Thank you." So that's, if they could see, you got to help them work through those insecurities. What is it that you're dealing with that make you want to wear that much of a skirt, or your shirt cut down, or what is it? I talked to one parent and she said, "That's what my child want to wear, and that's what I'm gonna let her wear." Okay, mom, I don't have a problem with that. Is there something she want to talk about? Is there something going on outside of that? If that's what she want to wear, that's cool. But once they realize that they are amazing individuals and everybody's different and nobody has to be the same, I think they'll be fine. But they need a cheerleader that tells them that they got this. That each individual person has their own individual talents. Because I can't do a magazine. I thought about it, but I can't do a magazine. That's your thing. That's what you do. I can't do that. We
Yes.
all can't do the same thing. But there's enough room here for everybody to be
Yes.
successful.
Absolutely.
We can all be successful. And people, those that come after you and pull you down or talk about your craft or whatever, they don't see that there's room for them. They have not found what works for them, so they spend the time keyboard bullying and telling you that you don't amount to nothing. But
Yes.
there's space for everybody. There's room for everybody. We can't. You just got to find out what works for you. Like I was telling you about the kids that want to write.
Yes.
There's kids that want to write. Okay, come to me. Let's talk about it. So there's one young lady who's almost finished her book. When she graduates, she wants help. Hence the new company that's starting in January that you'll see about. I'm gonna launch a publishing consultant thing. So
Yeah.
that when, like, those who want to work on their book or whatever, I can tell you how to self-publish. I can tell you what you need to do. I'm not publishing it. I'll just walk you through all the steps and help you with it. But what do you want to do? You want to play music? Let me get you with a music teacher.
Yes.
You want to be a cheerleader? Let me get you with the cheer coach. What do you want to do? You don't know
Yes.
what you want to do? We can help you figure that out, because our personal finance teacher, he has this thing where you answer all these questions, and it matches you up with like 15 different things
Mm.
that you might want to do.
Yes.
And then they get to click on them and see which one, what it entails. So a lot of kids have been using that don't know what they want to do. One kid wants to be an auto mechanic. Okay, let us sign you up for trade school next year so you can, but tell us what you want so we can get you the tools to get there.
Yes.
So as long as we can find the tools for them, male, female, black, white, non-black, white, um, they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. I believe so. Yes. 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 They need the right tools. And I know I said the last question was the last one, but one more.
Oh, you're fine.
Uh, um, considering that we've been through so many different eras of greatness, a lot of different great men and women. Name your top three leaders of all time who inspire you to do what you do.
Wow. I don't even know. I wouldn't say leaders, but the number one for me that keeps me pushing on this is my dad. He's he's not with us, but every time I go to do something, I would go, what would he do? You
Yes.
know, what would he do? If I had to pick somebody, it would actually be an actor. Would be Chadwick Boseman.
Okay. Okay.
It would be, because he managed to just keep pushing through everything that he had going on, and nobody knew about it.
Yes.
Nobody knew about it. So he was able to just keep pushing through. And I think it would be my son.
Okay. Okay.
My both of my kids are ones that push me, but my youngest one said something to me a couple of years ago. I was on my second book, and I was struggling with it. And he came over to the table to me, and this is it stays with me, and I tell people this all the time. He said, if this is no longer fun for you, and it's like a job, and you're struggling like this, then you need to pack it up and walk away. So every time I get like, I feel like I'm struggling with it, I put it to the side, and I don't come back to it until, like the project I'm working on now, round two.
Yes.
When that's fun, because that's fun. Everybody's stories are coming in, and you're trying to get them together and put it together and wait for the end result. So I keep that in mind. If I'm working on something and it's no longer fun, then that's not what I'm supposed to be working on. So I
I understand.
don't really have the actual leaders per se. It's because I pay attention to what's going on outside, but I don't really follow it. Only time I really followed the news was when we were having the election, and I was like, oh God, oh God. But outside of that, no. It's the actual people around me.
Yes.
Even using you as an example, your drive, your push. I'm like, okay, this is, if, watching you push, I push. I got a friend here that opened up his catering company and just stopped everything, and I see him pushing. So it's the people that's around me that's constantly pushing for their own personal greatness that keeps me going.
Yes. 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 Absolutely. 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 But what I come to tell you is that rest in peace to Pops. Pops is definitely a leader. Your son is definitely a leader, and Chadwick Boseman was definitely a leader too. So absolutely, let's go, let's go, let's go. And rest in peace to Pops and Chadwick Boseman. They was the legend that was once here, and they was doing good things on Earth. So that's what it's about. Where can the people find you at?
Amazon.com. Amazon.com. Websites, that's the thing I'm struggling with is finding a website designer, a website that I like, a website that stays consistent and don't crash. So that's my biggest struggle.
we we got to talk on that. I think I can help you with that, sister. I think I can.
Okay, fine. I'm open. It's just that I can't. I set one up, it crashed, and then the people that set it up for you, poof, like
Absolutely.
where'd they go? So yeah, that's what I need.
Absolutely. That's the next. I listen. I understand you so much because that's the. I actually got to get my website back up and running, but I definitely do a guy. I know a guy that actually work on websites, and he's pretty good. Because it's certain things that I can't do all the time. I was like, I
Oh
love doing a
no.
magazine. I love writing. I love doing this. I love writing books. I love doing that. But it's like when it comes to the website, I'm like, listen, I need some. I need either I need either 10 more fingers or I need to just give it to somebody else.
And you know exactly how you want it to look, and you're sitting there trying to get it to look like that, and then you get mad. Longer fun. You get mad because it's not, for the mental health side of it. I wanted to be like, let's say you want help and you come to the website
Yes.
and you click on Philadelphia, and everything for Philadelphia is on that one tab. So I want people to be able to come to that one site, and whatever state they're in, they can find the person, they can find, the mental health people, they can find, or just keep clicking on that state section and drive them to the information. That's how I want the website to look. But I can't
Okay.
I can't get it to do it. I can't.
I understand. I know a brother. So after we get off the live, I definitely do know a brother. Listen, sister, thank you so much. This was a powerful interview. I hope people go back and tune into this interview. Also, I will have this interview uploaded to our YouTube page. So even if y'all don't want to check it out on Instagram, y'all can go to Black 31 Magazine YouTube page. But most importantly, y'all, check out and go follow Miss Pamela Coleman. This lady is doing something very special within the mental health world, and mental health advocacy is what she's about. And she's a teacher, and most important, she's making sure that the kids are doing the right thing. These are the things that we need in the communities. So each and every week, y'all, listen, we could have y'all favorite mental health advocate. We could have your favorite poet. We could have your favorite book author. We could have your favorite football
Musician,
player, musician, yeah,
Uh-huh.
musician, actor. We could have the little girl down the street with the lemonade stand, or it could be you. So again, we are the platform of truth, the home of the champions, and the place where we uplift man, woman, and child. Thank you again, sister. I appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely.
Pay attention, train your mind. During these times, we need more education, not incarceration, to elevate from negativity at all costs. Knowledge and power. Remember, this game spilled, given. Embrace it. T.Y.I, Poetic G. Peace and love, one. I love it.